Let's speak to Tshibangu. He's the president of the Association for the Development and Democracy in Congo and joins us from Leicester here in the UK. Michel, the title that I presented you with kind of tells me what position you're going to take. Did you ever expect it to get this bad in terms of the elections happening, but happening in such a haphazard way, and at least 1 million people not being able to cast their ballots on Sunday?
It is actually far worse than I feared, because not only do you have 3 million people who will be excluded from taking part, the Electoral Commission has taken further steps to reduce the number of polling stations in opposition stronghold. This means that there will be a longer queue and people will not know where to go to vote, and this will mean that the rate of participation will also be lower in the opposition stronghold. We are seeing the Electoral Commission doing things that will actually make it difficult for the opposition to win. This is really cause for concern.
I mean, you've been an advisor to a candidate who's actually banned from standing in these elections, and that candidate now backs the opposition's Martin Fayulu. Martin Fayulu says up to 5 million Congolese will not be allowed to vote because of irregularities in the whole setup for these elections. Is now Joseph Kabila's preferred candidate, Shadary, almost guaranteed to win?
Guaranteed to win fraudulently, because we've seen during the electoral campaign that the people wanted change, and the people, when the people went to the opposition meeting, there were thousands of people who attended there, and there was really that you see that they were desperate for change. And when they saw that, that's why they decided to take measures such as stopping people from voting in the opposition stronghold, reducing numbers of polling stations, making sure that people will have to travel long distances in order to vote. All this to discourage people from voting the opposition candidate, Martin Fayulu, who is the favorite.
Do you think the opposition actually needs some kind of help from the outside? Does the African Union have to get involved here? Do neighboring countries have to take some sort of action that is going to cause a change? Even if there was a delay again to Sunday's election, to get those millions of people who aren't going to be able to vote, to allow them to have their say, would it make a difference? Will the opposition be able to do that on its own, or does it need external assistance?
Well, there will have to be a combination of both, external assistance as well as internal pressure. We have seen that the Southern African community has held a meeting expressing concern over the election in DRC. We are also seeing people on the ground protesting, because election, they want real election, they want credible election. They do not want the sham election that Kabila want to organize in order to impose on the Congolese people the person that he has chosen. And this will only create further tension and will destabilize DRC further, and something that must be avoided, because that will mean that people will have to flee. If there's a conflict, the neighboring country will also be affected in terms of refugee people fleeing over the border in order to seek safety. DRC is on a crossroad, and we think that if the election continue to be held on this path, there will be further chaos and further violence in DRC.
Michael Tshibangu, we appreciate your time. Thank you.